Hi, everyone, and welcome to Who Threw the Curve. And this is a Robert Ruiz rant. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, the 1986 Mets, drugs, alcohol, and the World Series. An exciting year. The 1986 New York Mets, a team that didn't just play baseball, they lived it, breathed it, and partied like rock stars. If you think modern athletes are wild, you clearly haven't heard the tales of the 86 Mets. This was a team that could win a World Series and still have enough energy to hit the clubs until dawn. Let's take a sarcastic and humorous look at their legendary year, where the lines between sports and soap opera blurred into one unforgettable season. Let's talk about the pros first. Well, number one, winning the World Series. Let's start with the obvious. The Mets won the World Series. And not just any World Series, but one of the most dramatic and memorable in baseball history. Game 6, anyone? Bill Buckner's infamous era. It's the stuff of legends. The Mets just didn't win. They gave us a Hollywood script. Who needs a boring, straightforward victory when you can have a heart-stopping drama? Number two, team chemistry. Sure, they had chemistry, the kind that involves mixing alcohol with a dash of cocaine. But hey, it worked. The team was a tight knit group bonded by their love for the game and their extracurricular activities. They proved that sometimes a little chaos can lead to greatness, or at least a lot of entertaining stories. Number three, colorful personalities. The 86 Mets were a collection of characters that made the Kardashians look like the Brady Bunch, from the wild antics of Lenny Dykstra to the larger-than-life persona of Darryl Strawberry. This team had it all. They were the bad boys of baseball, and they embraced it. Who needs role models when you can have rebels? Number four, unforgettable moments. The season was filled with moments that are still talked about today, whether it was Keith Hernandez's mustache, Dwight Gooden's pitching prowess, or the team's legendary brawls. The 86 Mets were never boring. They gave the fans something to talk about, and isn't that what sports are all about? Now, let's cover the cons. Number one on the cons was substance abuse. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. The 86 Mets had a bit of a drug problem. And by a bit, I mean they could have kept a small pharmacy in business. Cocaine, alcohol, you name it. They indulged. It's a miracle they could even find a field, yet alone win games. But hey, they proved that you can be both a champion and a cautionary tale. Number two, legal troubles. When you were partying like there's no tomorrow, sometimes the law gets involved. The Mets had their fair share of run-ins with the authorities, from bar fights to drug busts. They kept the tabloids busy. It's almost as if they were trying to win the World Series and a spot on Cops at the same time. Number three, health risks. All that partying took a toll on their bodies. Dwight Gooden missed the World Series parade because he was too busy with his own personal parade of substances. The long-term effects of their lifestyle choices were not pretty, but hey, they lived fast and played hard. Who needs longevity when you have a championship ring? Number four, role model status. Let's be honest. The 86 Mets were not exactly role models, unless you want to teach your kids how to balance a baseball career with nightlife that would make a rock stars jealous. They were the epitome of do as I say, not as I do. But in a way, they were honest about who they were. They didn't pretend to be saints, and maybe there's something refreshing about that. But in the end, the 1986 Mets were a team like no other. They were talented, wild, and utterly unforgettable. They showed us that greatness can come in many forms, even if it involves a few many trips to the bar. Their story is a reminder that sports are not just about the games, but about the people who play them. The 1986 Mets were flawed, human, and undeniably entertaining. And in the end, isn't that what makes a legend? So here's to the 1986 Mets, the team that partied hard, played hard, and left an inedible mark on baseball history. They may not have been perfect, but they were perfectly unforgettable. Cheers to the Mets. Thank you for listening to Who Threw the Curve. Don't forget to like us, share us, and subscribe. Thanks.